VHS tapes, analog horror, whatever you want to call them, there's so many out there, but none like this one. So obviously, you know, on this channel I absolutely love analog horror. It's the main, you know, section and genre of horror that I personally find really scary. This video that I got sent was something that I was not expecting. We have, you know, your VHS tapes of analog horror, your Mandela catalog, all that sort of stuff, but for me we never really got a lot of stop motion. That's where this video comes in. This is the most disturbing stop motion analog horror I have ever seen. This video is called The Kid and the Camera and is something that I absolutely love. This video is a perfect example of what analog horror is and what should be. It also is a unique style on the genre, so it's something we haven't seen before, well personally I haven't seen before, and it's something that I fell in love with honestly straight after this video. Now this video is made by Grumble Entertainment. I think I've gotten that right, so if I haven't, let me know in the comments. But if Grumble Entertainment ever see this video, just so you know, this video is perfect and you've done an absolutely amazing job, and I hope to see more content like this from the channel. But as you know, we love analyzing horror and analog horror videos on this channel, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the video opens up as a kid's cartoon, obviously in stop motion, and as you hear, it's kind of like a similar, because obviously I'm Irish, so you'd get like your CBBS over here. I don't know what they'd have over in the US and stuff like that in the UK, but we had like CBBS, and basically you'd have like the odd little stop motion cartoons where you'd have a voiceover over it. And that's what this really reminded me of. It's something I could really relate to from my childhood, so I instantly fell in love with it straight away. It basically opens up with a Starry Night as a bit of, you know, music plays until the actual, you know, logo and the kid and the camera text pops up on screen, to where a voiceover then explains how a little boy named Calum, it explains how he has gotten a new present of a camera, of like a Polaroid camera, similar to those like kiddie zoom cameras that we would have gotten as kids, but he has gotten it, and it's basically explaining the story of how he got this camera and how he instantly fell in love with it, and how it's literally the main part of his whole life now, as he goes around snapping photos here and there. But the one thing you have to pay attention to if you've watched analog horror before, you realize this is in a cartoon form. However, the photos that come up on screen are real life photos. So obviously, since knowing this is analog horror, you then know this is a scary and true story just told through the vision of a kid's TV show. Instantly amazing choice. After it continuously shows the photos that the kid has been taking, however, a massive accident happens, how the kid trips on a branch and then breaks his camera. And then it cuts to him sitting in bed, you know, obviously unable to sleep due to, you know, him feeling guilty about breaking his camera, which honestly, it's happened to a lot of people before. I can imagine if you break your phone or whatever, you might break your laptop, you'll have a very rough night sleeping because you'll feel really bad about breaking it. It's a completely understandable situation. However, while he's sitting in bed, he gets a little knock at his window, and that's when the Kips need shows up.
And there stood, on the other side of Caelan's bedroom window, a large winged creature. "Hello there, young lad," greeted the creature. "I'm the Kipsneed.
Now, as soon as the Kipsneed comes on screen, you know for a fact that this thing is not normal and should not be there, because I don't even know what this creature is. This creature, whatever, it's kind of like a butterfly type thing. I don't even know if a Kipsneed is an actual animal. But then as they have a little conversation, the boy is constantly like, oh, I should not talk to strangers and stuff like that. And then the Kipsneed then explains how he knows everyone in the land's name, including Calum's, as he repeats his name back to him. Now, when watching this for the first time, I instantly got vibes of It or Pennywise the Clown from the Georgie scene, how he like basically lures him into basically trusting him, a randomer, but that's what I got from this video specifically. However, the Kipsney then explains how he can fix the camera if the kid follows him into a portal into his own land. I think we all know where this is going, right? The boy then, for whatever reason, accepts and then goes out of his own house, follows the Kipsneed's voice as he follows him into the woods while taking photos on the way. And it's the same thing from earlier in the video, where the photos are now in real life. So what you are seeing right now in a kids TV show form is a kid being lured into the woods by some randomer. Eventually, after snapping a few more photos, the boy then reaches a house in the woods. Now, I watched this on stream and my chat told me to turn on subtitles for one specific reason around this part. And my god, did this shock me. As a lot of analog horror does, they do hide a lot of things in the subtitles. However, this thing genuinely sent shivers down my spine, as when the boy gets to the house, the voiceover dude says, "Seems quite abandoned," then under his breath says, "Kill the boy."
Seems quite abandoned, thought the boy.
And this emphasizes it, as you can see in the subtitle, when it says "seems quite abandoned," under the breath you then see "kill the boy." Oh god. The boy then follows the Kipsney into this house, and for whatever reason follows the Kipsney down into the basement. Now, one thing I had with this video, obviously it's being shown from these photos being taken from the kid, but then you actually see the Kipsney in one of the photos, like in real life form. It looks 10 times worse in real life form than it did in the cartoon. And also, I didn't think it would be real. I thought the Kipsney was like a metaphor for a stranger trying to lure a kid into the woods. But it genuinely seems as if this is like a paranormal, you know, entity or something. However, once the kid eventually reaches the basement, it goes back into cartoon form. And then the boy basically is staring directly at the camera. However, it goes to a side pan of the boy's face as he slowly turns around to where a real life photo flashes of a man's legs. Obviously, the dude who ends up luring this kid into this basement. It holds a still image on this photo of the man's legs and then fades to black, as then a photo fades back on screen as the voiceover man goes, "The authorities found the basement, and this is what was found of the boy, as 2 legs are sticking out of a pile of dirt."
Authorities discovered the basement. The rest of the boy was never found.
Obviously emphasizing how this man has delimbed the boy. Now, for me, that ending is so sinister because it just shows you blatantly what this dude has done to the boy, as his legs have just been dismembered. Now, this video for me sent shivers down my spine when actually watching it on stream. I'll see if I can find the VOD of me actually, like, my reaction to the ending. But my god, it shocked me. It genuinely did. I know a lot of my videos I say, oh, this genuinely shocked me. This video actually genuinely did. The ending, it comes out of nowhere. You kind of expect the boy to be, you know, unalived, but you also, you know, you don't expect that way to show up at the end, if that makes any sense. Now, personally, this is the only video of stop motion, like, analog horror that Grumbled Entertainment has produced. I really hope they do produce more, because this is exactly what we need in the analog horror genre, especially when you have Mandela Catalog, Walton Files, Baddington's FNAF, you know, Baddington Harmony and Horror. It's a lot of, you know, animatronic analog horror, or, you know, entity analog horror. This one from Grumbled Entertainment is almost like it's just taking a kids TV show and just completely spinning it on its head. And that also reminds me of a video you should stay tuned to watch, because we're going to be covering White Stag Education. If you haven't heard of it, make sure to tune into that video. It will be out the day after this video. So that is another, you know, channel I want to emphasize and also want to make some theories about. But yeah, if Grumbled Entertainment ever does see this video, this was an amazing experience watching this episode of, you know, analog horror. And hopefully everyone here has enjoyed this video. I really do appreciate it. If you do like analog horror, I'd highly recommend go dropping Grumbled Entertainment to subscribe, because genuinely that you can tell by the, you know, the quality of that video. It took a lot of time to make, especially with stop motion. So genuinely go drop them a subscribe. And also, I'd recommend just going and watching the episode for yourself without me commentating over it, because personally this is such a good version of analog horror, and it's unique as well, which I really love. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash the like button down below. Make sure to subscribe as well if you like analog horror, anything to do with horror. And also, if you have any VHS tapes or any sort of analog horror you want me to cover on the channel, let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. The comments in the last video were really supportive, so genuinely thank you all so much. And if you've stuck to the end of this video, it really does mean a lot to me. Have an amazing day, guys. Stay safe, and as always, peace. First shot of this episode, Tammy picks this house.
What about that one?
Now, if you ask me, that is the, worst house you can pick. It has wallpaper on the outside.